Let's just like stop the music a little bit. Class balance. So is this the things that they talked about? Don't read it. You're just gonna be angry. I need to read it. I need to read it. Okay, class balance. Class balance patches are currently taking place on global lab testing server. Many players are asking why so many classes are being buffed, and just how strong VUSA is. Interesting. I do wonder why many players ask why that is being done. The class balance is to bring up some of the classes that weren't performing as good as VUSA. Oh, really? Okay. VUSA had forward guard on her skill and high damage, which made her easier to grind with. At the moment, PA are buffing many classes that are that will be go through phase 2 with the class balance to fix more issues. Classes will not receive a PvE buff, including Guardian or Witch. Okay. Yeah, because they are at the same level as VUSA or even stronger. They wish they had more time to explain that decision, but wanted to quickly improve on class balance, so didn't explain their direction properly. I wonder why they didn't specify why they want to buff every class up to VUSA level. I wonder why. It takes a long time to fix and buff the damage on many classes, but they're trying to push these balance changes through quickly so players can grind again on the class that they love. That is a good philosophy. I react to all of this when I'm done. PvE class balance will start to come to Korea live servers on November 8th. Once PvE balancing is completed, PA will focus on PvP class balance. Interesting. Some classes are better than others in 1 versus 1 arena, solar, and large-scale PvP. PA wants to keep this improved so that each class have a PvP specialization. Okay. So we already know about this. They said this a few weeks ago, or like a week, yeah, a few weeks ago. Nekinator, thank you for the follow. So the reason why they don't want to state why they are buffing all of the classes up to VUSA level is because of the wildfire that they received when they nerfed Megu. And a lot of people quit the game. A lot of people were furious when they nerfed Megu, probably 5 times or something like that, because it was so strong. They needed to get nerfed like 5 times. If they were to like shunk it in one patch, all of those 5 nerfs, everyone would have probably quit the game. But but they had to do it like 5 individual times, right? So like, you know, it's like how you do with a drug behavior. You scale it down a little bit so people will adjust. So they had to do that on Megu, right? And they know that most of the Megu players, they went over to VUSA, and it's just like literally, it's just like that's what you do. Like you play Megu. Megu is so similar to VUSA. You're just gonna do that, right? I don't like these ads on the side there. So yeah, that is one of the reasons why they don't want to nerf VUSA, because they want to make more money, they want to maintain more money coming in, and they don't want to lose money by people leaving BDO because they're nerfing one of the popular classes. They did this like a year ago, 2 years ago with Striker. They said the exact same thing. They were like, now we're not going to nerf Striker, we're going to buff all of the classes up to Striker level. What happened were that they buffed 3 classes maybe up to Striker level. Succession LAN and Striker were on par, and then like there could be like a circle running around a little bit later. But then all of the other classes were kind of decent or garbo. So the exact same thing is probably going to happen now. Like very, very high probability of they're going to buff most of the classes, yeah, sure. But there's always going to be like 3 meta classes, and everyone is going to play those because they are so wildly better than the strong classes. So that is most likely going to happen anyway. They're not really thinking about balancing here. They are thinking about how to save money and how to do that in the best way ever, because they released Megu and Vusa being so overtuned that they kind of shoot themselves in the foot. So that is my experienced opinion. I played the game for a long time. I played other games too. I know why these companies rather want to buff things than to nerf things. It is all about that money. Most of the people, which is why, like, why are they writing this, right? Many people are asking why they're buffing, blah blah blah. This is because all of the people know that if you want to balance a game, you need to nerf the broken and buff the weak. And it would even be a faster way of doing that. But financially for PA, that wouldn't be a good idea. Which is why they say, like, nah, we're not going to do that. We're going to do it our own way. They don't specify why they're not doing that, or, you know. Which makes me to indicate, like, okay, it's just all about the money then. They just don't want to say that because it doesn't sound good, right? Sounds like every class that doesn't have a grab is about to get one. You could think that, but no, not really. It's always gonna. They just say that they're gonna do that with all of the classes. It's not gonna happen with all of the classes. You can look at this video or whatever in a year in the future and be like, yeah, that didn't happen. I don't even know when they're gonna be done with this PvE class balance start come Korea live server on November 8th. November 8th. So they'll be done with it on November 8th? No, it will start to come on the Korean live server on November 8th. But when are they gonna be done with it? My Solar team doesn't have free classes with the Arena of Solar PvP specialization. Power creep is a real thing, and PA is scrambling to figure out how to deal with it. The reason why I'm a little bit upset about this is because there are more ways of balancing the game rather than to look at class balance. There is more things that goes into it than just class balance. If they want to class balance, they need to buff the weak and nerf the strong, right? That's just a thing that everyone is on board with. If you want to balance PvE, they can make grind spots harder, easier. They can do that with stats alone. They can do that with how they architecturally build the grind spot. They can do it by many things in, just like development phase of how do they balance PvE. Is something like more catered to movement speed on classes, or more like pure AoE spread, or single target damage, for example. They can do all of that balancing, not on the classes, but actually like in the game, adding more monsters, making monsters weaker or stronger, fiddling around with the drop table. They can do that in the game, right? And another reason, like, maybe people that played for 5 years, maybe it's not a good idea to let them roam about and go to Histria and kill a noob and two, just because they wanted to grind in Histria for endgame money. I know Histria is not endgame money, but it's the principle of, like, you can make a lot of money going to like very gear score, low gear score places, right? And that's never really been a thing in any game, really, because they trying to not allow people like me, for example, that have crazy gear, that play for a long time, to like go into, destroy a new player, take their grind spot, grind away in a place that you used to grind in like 4 years ago. There are many reasons why it's bad, to like, you're gonna have to like, if you can go back and re-grind the grind that you used to do. They can add a grab to every class and people still won't be happy since my grab is worse than X grab. Yeah, exactly. Even if they were to add a grab to every single class, it's still gonna be uneven, and other classes gonna have more of another thing. They're gonna have iframes, they're gonna have movement speed and desync possibilities, and they might have more protected damage output, or so it's always gonna be unfair, even if they add, even if they give everyone everything, right? I wonder how much of a factor the recent vendor cron price increase and the fact that there was obviously a money grab impacted this decision. Uh, yeah, I mean they obviously did that because of number one, inflation in the game, and number two, to make it so people that wanted to whale felt like it was worth it to whale. That was the whole reason in the beginning, to like, have it being worth it for rich people to buy costumes on the marketplace, and then sell them and make a lot of silver in the game. That's a very big chunk of money that they are making from. If it's not worth it for whalers to do that, aka meaning that the worth of it is lowered because of inflation or whatever, people are not gonna buy as many costumes and sell them on the marketplace, meaning that PA will make less money. So I do believe that they have to keep up with inflation many times in the game, and sometimes they kind of don't keep up with inflation in the game because they keep on adding like more and more money into the game all the time. Like every half of a year, they push up the average money per hour by a lot, and at the same time, every year they kind of changed some of the prices on the marketplace. They would have to like keep up with changing marketplace prices way more, in consideration to like how many times they change, how much you can averagely grind per hour, and also like how many rewards and stuff that you get on a yearly basis or whatever. With regard to any monetary loss that the company experience. Yeah, I mean they probably saw that as a decline, like every time they change the marketplace prices on the cronstones going up, right? It goes up, and then with time it goes like steadily down, right? Because of inflation, and sometimes also like depending on the trendiness of the game too, right? So it kind of depends a little bit. Okay, Asia PvP Championship. I didn't see this because of one reason, and one reason alone. I decided not to watch this. I thought it was gonna be a lag fiesta, and it wasn't worth my time. It wasn't worth my time to sit here and like watch it. I've seen a few clips on how it were, and it was very desyncy and laggy in these clips. Just as expected, because I've played sieges. I've done more than 700 node wars. I know how it feels like to play even PvP on like EU channel. Like I know, like, it's crazy lag and desync, crazy. It used to be better back in the days because classes were a little bit slower back in the days. So it used to be a little bit better, but nowadays, one of the reasons why I quit PvP, It is because of the lag and desync, one of the big reasons. Then there are more reasons. We're gonna go through that. It was working as intended. Yeah, I mean, some people see it as a feature. It's like a random thing, like, you might crash a few times when you do node war. It's almost like a part of the game when it's like, oop, now the enemy get they get like I don't know, they get like a benefit now. It's like a few people crashed right there. You have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes now to reap the reward of someone crashing. But yeah, the first Asia PvP Championship took place recently. PA knew that there were still many problems and are sorry that it was not prepared properly. There were issues with lag, ping, and schedule. All players who purchased VPN for the Asia Node War will be compensated. But it will take time. They have hosted championships before in the past, and they thought that they could do it again with the minimal changes, and were busy preparing other content such as War of the Roses, and promise they will do better next time. for the next Asian Node War Championship, they are changing the server to cloud servers to improve the ping problem. I mean, I don't know exactly how severe the lag and the desync were, but even if they make it like how it is on EU and NA, it is still pretty bad. Like we don't play, like we don't live in Korea. In Korea they have very good ping because I don't know, the country is not like wide enough or something. I don't know, but or they have better servers maybe. I have no idea, but they have better ping in Korea for whatever reason. In EU, like our server is in Amsterdam, I think. So people like me living in Sweden, I have like 80, 89 ping. And then if I use exit lag or something, I go down to like 25. It is still like at 25. But then like at 80 and 89, it's like, ooh, you better play a ranged AoE class at that point. Yeah, hide in the tower. Lag in NA and EU Siege Wars feature in KR is a huge problem, must be fixed immediately. Yeah, and that goes into my reaction here, which is like, if it happens on KR, it is all of a sudden this massive problem that has to be fixed ASAP. But they already knew about all of these stuff. I remember one time, maybe 2 years ago, it was on a ball. They had like a lot of people all around the world asking Jay questions. One of the questions were, when are you gonna fix lag and desync in Node War and PvP and such? And Jay being like, oh, we only recently saw an uptick in lag and desync and whatever. He probably referred to KR. So he probably didn't even know that is like way worse in other regions in the world. And they said like, yeah, they were gonna check that out and they're gonna try to fix the issue or whatever. Obviously no one got an answer for that question, right? Like, how are they gonna do it? When are they gonna do it? And but they just like pushed that to the side. And I kind of feel like they're gonna do the same thing again right here, even if they are commenting on it in this way. They might actually do a cloud server, but it's still gonna be lag and desync. It's gonna be improved. I don't know exactly how bad it was, but yeah. Whenever they are releasing this War of the Roses, it was a great idea, in my opinion. I think the PvP needs more stuff and definitely more systems. But at the same time, one of the core issues is lag and desync. One of the core issues why people don't like it as much is because of lag and desync. So having a 300 versus 300, 600 people on a region fighting it out, I've done node wars and sieges like that. And you better believe it, you can't see people. People are teleporting around. you randomly die, you crash all the time. It's not functional. So hopefully they do something about, like, I don't know, they're gonna have to do something with the engine or something, or like recode the game, or because they're probably not gonna buy like or rent better servers, right? Even if they could do that, then it wouldn't fix all of the issues, I'm pretty sure. So even though this is a great idea and everything, I think that in the beginning it's gonna be okay-ish, like popularity-wise, and then it's gonna crash. It's gonna crash pretty fast in how popular it's gonna be. So yeah, good luck having 300 versus 300. I think like a month into it, it's gonna be like more like 40 versus 40, or 50 versus 50, because they're also gonna keep on adding more and more reward into it to like make people play that. That's one of the ways that they usually do it. The EU siege lag was neglect due to War of the Roses. Yeah, yeah. 5 years in development. They tried doing a what did they try to do like the last time? It was like a region war or something, or they had like a yeah, like Valencia versus Medalla or whatever. But obviously that got scrapped because of many reasons. I don't even know all of the reasons, but Guild War and Deck and PvP. PA apologized for the lack of communication when they announced that the Guild War deck changed. They thought about this decision for a long time, and some developers argue against the change. PA feel that the war decks were a positive part of the game at the start, but now are used to harass and bully other players. They introduced many patches to try to alleviate the issues, but many players were being harassed, so they decided to finally change it. In Russia, they introduced a specialized server and normal server, and found that more and more people were moving from the specialized server to the normal server. Okay. In Japan, one-sided guilds were not very common at first, and many players had positive experience with Node War and Siege and Guild, etc. Jay hopes that player can understand and that decision will be reversing the guild deck changes, more PvP content going forward, and improving existing PvP content such as Arena of Solar and Red Battlefield reward. However, they don't want to increase silver reward too much, and the reward will be the same as grinding, life skilling, AFK, blah blah blah. Yeah, players going AFK and only doing the content for the reward. Okay. Ye also said that if War of the Roses is popular, it might be rescheduled to be more often. Third faction may be added. When you use a cannon, you will now get a message to confirm a hit-miss. Kill death scores in wars will be integrated into a score system. Arena of Solar will be permanently available starting next season. Finally, in Arsha server, the message saying that someone was killed will be removed and family names will be hidden. Wait, what? Wait. In Arsha server, the message saying that someone was killed will be removed and their oh yeah, like if they are well, what was it called again? if you kill someone in Valencia and you get that blood mark on you or whatever. These are plans to provide environment so guild members can kill each other. Yeah, I think this, yeah, like the desert debuff, if you want to call it that, or... Okay, so there is some good things here, and there is some bad things here. Are you sure it's about the desert, or... It could... I don't know if it is a thing in the game that you have, like, in the chat, it says, like, who got killed or whatever. I don't know if there is one of those things in the game. But this could it could be like every time you see that thing on the screen, like blah 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 killed, blah 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 blah, or punished rather, blah 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 punished, blah 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 blah. You know. And that's usually happening when you have one of those. You killed someone in the desert, right? And you get hit with that. It's like a wanted debuff or whatever. So it could be that, or it could be I don't know if the other thing exists in the game. That's like in a window, it tells people like who dies and who doesn't die. And doesn't that mean they making Arsha anonymous? They are trying to make Arsha a little bit more anonymous, yeah, with this. Or are they saying environment to kill guildmates? I think there won't be kill messages. Everyone is anonymous and it's free for all. Yeah, I think so too. But let's go through it. They apologized for the guild deck because they think people use it to bully other players. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that would be a way for players to bully other players to deck up on guilds and to be able to kill them freely. Now, the reason why I'm against this is I'm against bullying. I'm against harassing people. But the real reason why I'm really like this is a really bad idea is that at least this is better. At least this is better than feeding players to monsters. So what is gonna happen? You have X toxic player wants to kill Y innocent player. And how do you do that? You have a few ways of doing that. You can flag up. You can deck on a guild. You can you can flag up and you can also kill them to monsters. So like, you know, you can either just kill them straight up. If you flag up, you lose karma. Like this guy is gonna lose karma. Eventually you're gonna turn red, and that can really that can really fuck this guy, right? You can also deck sometimes, not all the times, because that guy can be in a protected guild. It can also be a protected player. So you can sometimes do these stuff. But the alternative is, if you can't do this and you're losing out on that, guess what? You're gonna flag up and you're gonna feed to monsters. This toxic ass dude is always gonna try to fuck with this guy. It doesn't matter if you take away, like you make it impossible for people to deck on the guy. If they can deck on the guy and just kill that guy all the time, at least this guy doesn't lose crystals to monster death, right? So the way that I see all of this, like they're taking away a deck or whatever, is only a bad thing because it allows toxic people to do even more things, going away, like getting away with it. Sometimes you can actually stand your ground. Sometimes, and if you have a deck up, maybe you don't need to worry about getting fed to monsters. If you can actually deck a player, maybe you can penalize people for griefing your rotation and talking shit to you in chat. But if you can't, like let's say that you can't deck, you're gonna lose karma and go red if you flag up and kill someone. Someone runs into your shit and takes your stuff and talk shit to you. You have to swap channel, or you have to feed that guy to monsters. That's what it creates, right? Because you're taking away possibilities for, you know, just killing the guy. Like, hey, what are you doing? Like, you just kill him like fast, and you know, go away. And maybe the guy is gonna go away because, oh shit, like, oh, he killed me, like, oh, you know. But he doesn't lose anything if you kill him that way, right? So I feel like these stuff, like, you know, if you're a veteran player, you played a long time, you should never be able to be a protected player in the game. Never. That's what I feel like. I feel like if you done node wars with a guild and you have a lot of high gear score people that do PvP and stuff like that, you shouldn't even be able to have a not war ready guild. But they're gonna change all of this now. So like you have to yes up to a guild fight if you want to have a guild fight. But in my opinion, it only leads to like toxic people getting away with it even more. And it's just going to be worse consequences because the toxic people are now going to feed people more often, because that is the more of the only tool that they can use to be toxic and to punish people. Also for people like me that just want to be nice and want to grind in my grind spot, and then like you have a weird guy running in there and they start taking your shit and talking shit to you. I don't want to swap channel, but it forces me to do that. So I think that this is a two-way street. It's not only a one-way street, it's a two-way street. Like you can still do things like this, but you're gonna skip a step, and instead of like killing the guy, you're gonna feed him to monster immediately. That's what I think is gonna happen. The only way that I can completely remove this that is to make money round permanent, not 1 hour and recharge permanent. One of the ways, yeah, if you don't wanna meet or run into people. I feel like sometimes it's a mental state, like, you know, is sometimes like I don't experience on EU that it is that toxic. Me playing on EU, I don't feel like it is that. Like I rarely I run into toxic people that wants to harass and bully other people. I play the game all the time for 5 years, and I'm also streaming it, and it rarely happens. Rarely on EU. And it could be different on NA. It could be way different. I feel like many times they have to do individual server changes because of that reason. Sometimes they don't need to do a change on EU because it's not necessary. But maybe on NA, they could actually have to do a thing because people are like, their mindset is a little bit different, right? Sometimes I feel like a change is not always good for everyone because you don't have the same issues, right? I feel the PA moving in that direction. PA is definitely moving in a direction where it's more a single-player game, instanced single-player game, because of reasons like this. And I think it's the wrong approach to it. I think there are other ways that you can do to minimize the harassment and bullying than to take away people's alternatives to not feed people to monsters. That's what I believe in, at least. I also think like it's pretty important that that BDO is an MMO, and all of these decisions to make it more single player, instance based, dungeon based gameplay, it takes away from the MMO feeling of like actually interacting with other players. Because in my opinion, 99% or even more of all of the interactions that I had in BDO, all of them has been good interactions. So many times I feel like it is pretty bad to make decisions like this that kind of change the game in a very fundamental way. Especially if they keep on adding changes like this, it stacks up, right? One small thing with another small thing with another small thing. It is like an average thing, right? So yeah, I think there are better ways to do that. If you want to ban a guy, just go and ban a guy then. Like if someone is harassing someone, if someone is bullying someone chasing after someone on a daily basis, they can see that. They can see that in the logs. If someone report a guy like this, they can like take a look at that and see that, and they can see like exactly what's been said. They can see what is going on, the data, right? If someone is actively harassing and bullying someone, always finding someone, always running into them and killing them, always doing like this and writing haha you suck noob in the chat all the time. Like, you ban them PA. Like don't take away feature things in the game to make it worse, because now people are gonna feed people to monsters immediately. People that want to harass and bully other people, they always gonna try to do that anyway. But ban them then. Like, you know, go in there, investigate a little bit. I've sent a bunch of videos, like 3 times, of proof when people were harassing me. Like actual proof of people harassing me, because it's against TOS. I read about this in PA's TOS list. And they said that they were gonna look into it, but it's also a part of the game. And I was like, really? Harassment is a part of the gameplay? Really? Because it's another thing if people keep on chasing you all the time and talking shit to you all the time. That's different than to, like, you know, oh, I'm just gonna go kill this guy, you know, he's over at Mirrormark, let's go wipe that dude 3 times and then leave that guy alone and then do the same thing 3 days later. Like that's way different than to like actively chase someone, like server, like swapping channels, talking shit to the people all the time. They're rotating people to chase you around, right? It is way different. And they said, like, you know, it's a part of the gameplay. And I said, like, no, it's against the TOS, it's harassment. Like, you just ban them. What's the issue? What is the real issue here? You just ban them. Thunderflan, thank you for the follow. I have that happen to me in RBF for years. I made a complaint and nothing happens. I'm able to do RBF now on certain days. Yeah, because a lot of the responses is a part of the gameplay, because they don't have time to look it up if it's like actually harassment. And I had to talk to 3 different CMs and GMs about this. Like, you know, what one of the guys said is a part of the game. I counter replied with like, okay, I read your TOS. It is actually harassment. And then you have another CM and GM jumping in and being like, that's interesting. We're gonna have to take a look at that then. I'm like, really? Are you gonna take a look at that then? Interesting. Even with like the videos and the messages and all of this proof, right? They'd be like, it's part of the gameplay. So yeah, that's my opinion on that one. This is actually, I never thought that they would write this, but this is actually one of the good things. And it's not only good because players go AFK in RBF or Node War. They don't want to increase the silver reward too much when it comes to PvP. The reason why this is good, in my opinion, the fundamental reason why this is good, in my opinion, is because the servers lag and desync. The more people you have playing these PvP things, the less fun it's gonna be to play the PvP thing, almost to the point when you can't even play it because so many people play it. If in a perfect world, if the servers could handle everyone playing the game, I wouldn't mind at all if you could get the most money per hour ever. Throw in extra stuff, right? I don't care. But the thing is that it's not a perfect world, and we have very bad servers, and when we do PvP, it's even laggy and desyncy in a 20 versus 20 fight. Even AOS is laggy and desyncy 3 versus 3. So the more people you have playing the content, the less fun it is. And naturally, if you have like crazy money reward, people are just gonna do it for the reward. Just like they say here, like they're just gonna do the content for the reward. So that is why I think alike here. I think this is very good. I think they are on point with this one. They actually understand. So that is very good. One of the things that they can add though is they can add special reward. So they can add more special reward. It doesn't have to be silver reward. A little bit of silver reward is always good, but never have it to the point when people is like, I'm not gonna pop a giant drought because I'm trying to make money here. Like, and that's been a thing in the past. We used to ban people like that from the guild. They were trying to like make money from the payout doing node war, so they didn't want to buff up or anything like. So I think that is really good. Really good, because we don't have perfect servers. If we had perfect servers or very, very good servers, it could have been way different, but yeah. When you use a cannon, you will now get a message, confirm hit and miss. I think this is good too. It kind of takes away a little bit from that like mystery of like you have to have a scout to rely information, right? So you would naturally shoot a cannon and you would have a scout watching if you were hitting something. That used to be pretty interesting, like the concept of that. But I feel like at this point, like 9 years into, I don't even know how old BDO is, but 8 or 9 years, 7 years into the gameplay here, is okay that you can have a hit and miss. In my opinion, I was there yesterday live and watched most of it. I had a laugh when Jay said it too complicated and would take too long to nerf Vusa, so they better buff all classes. We talked about that before, and the my opinion is that they don't want to nerf Vusa because they don't want to get hit with the wildfire that they got hit with Megu, and is a very popular class. They rather want to buff everything up to that level because they want to maintain making money. And that is the reason. They don't care about balancing, because if they were thinking about balancing, they would nerf the broken and buff the weak. It would be faster to do so. It would piss off a few players that are meta players. They would piss off a few outline players. Maybe they quit the game or whatever. Who cares? Yeah, but then like if they want the game PvE changes to be balanced, they could also nerf grind spots. They can buff grind spots. It's not only class balancing. There's like you have to balance the game through classes. Like no, you can also do it with PvE and PvP and the core systems in the game, right? So it's not only classes. Everyone already knew it, and that's what they said too. Like everyone knows that the best idea is to nerf the broken and buff the weak, and they be like, nah, we're not gonna do that, and then they don't specify why, but the reason why is because they want to make more money. The bad part of it is because the bad part of the idea here is not gonna balance the game anyway. I've already said this. It's only gonna it's gonna be the same thing. They've done this many times in the past. Choice did all of the hard work and sent PA a proposed fix to RBF that will make it more rewarding. His proposal reward active play and AFK people get substantially less reward. You know what you can do. You can make AFK people. You should punish them. If you go into like a kind of a game, like it's a 30 versus 30, you accept and you go into that game. If you AFK, you should get thrown out of the game very quickly, like a minute. If you AFK for a minute, you should get thrown out of the RBF, right? And you shouldn't be able to log into the next RBF in a matter of 20 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes the first time, and then 20 minutes the second time, and then an hour the third time, and then 3 hours on the fourth time. And you see how they can like penalize people from like taking advantage from doing stuff like this. So there are many ways to do that. Mini Pounds, thank you for the follow. First Megu was the target, and now is Vusa. What a surprise! Yeah, I mean everyone that played Megu, they went over to Vusa, so like it would be even more of a wildfire if they were to nerf the Vusa. I think the PA are scared of doing that because of money reasons. But in reality, they know that they should kind of do that. I am pretty sure that most of the developers over at PA headquarters be like, yeah, that would be the right way to do it. But then you have the higher CEOs and everything that wants to make all of the money, right? They be like, nah, I want to be able to buy my third Bugatti. I'm not gonna nerf anything. Like, what the fuck? Well, what are you talking about? My insurance on my estate. I need to get that cash, you know. So that's literally what they forget to write here. The reason why, the real reason why they don't give us a reason here. There is no reason being mentioned. It's not only here, but it's also in the first message that they've thrown out. They don't have a reason for it. I know the reason, and it's money-based reason. It's not good for the game, it's good for the company. I said this many times before. Thrown out except if you stand in a zone, protecting it. Yeah. So like if you actively, they can come up with functions to see if you're actually playing the game, or if you put a rock on your keyboard to just like auto sprint into a wall. This is a thing that MMOs did in the early 2000s, when people had, you know, like they put a rock on W so they wouldn't get DC'd from the game, right? Because of AFK, they would keep on running into that wall, right? They eventually, game companies came up with a solution of like, okay, we know what that guy is doing. He's putting a rock on the W. Yeah. Megu hurt my eyes. Yeah. Jay needs to be able to keep the insurance off on his Bugatti. Gas is expensive. Yeah. So I said it many times before, and many of the majority of changes in the PA do is very, very money based. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it kind of ruins the game. Sometimes it's not okay. Sometimes it's okay. In this case, it is not okay, because it leads into many bad things. If you just keep on buffing everything, you keep on increasing that average, how easy the game is. Eventually, it's going to be Minesweeper, and like no one really cares about the grind that you do, or it's the death of most MMOs at that point. When things are not worth it anymore, like everything is just too easy, and you one-shotting everything. It's already like that in PvP, for example. Like you have to play 3 classes, otherwise you get fucked. Or it's still gonna be the same thing in PvE. People still gonna play the 3-4 classes in PvE. Like, who are they joking? They did the same thing 2 years ago. When they were gonna buff everything up to striker level, you know, Succession LAN got up there. Eventually, Zerker also got up there. But all of the other trash classes, well, what about those classes? Oh, I guess they forgot about them, because it's not. If we think about it realistically, what they can do, it's not realistic that they can buff everything up to that point. It just isn't. So many classes. The grind already isn't worth it. Yeah, I mean, sometimes the grind isn't really worth it, and sometimes it is. It depends. That's an entirely different. I could rant about that for an hour, but so yeah. I think this is good. Kill and death scores be integrated into a score system. I think that is good. I don't really know why they don't have Arena of Solar up 24/7 when it comes to practice mode. Like if you just want to have fun with your friends or whatever, or you just want to do some like no ranked games, then you should be able to do it at all times, right? If you want to, you just queue up. Having it ranked release like on seasonal basis, that's okay. But the seasonal basis being a little bit, it takes them too long in between the seasons, so they kind of missing out. Like a lot of people quit the game from time to time, like seasonal quitters, because it's like very seasonal Arena of Arsha ranking. So a lot of yo-yo players right there going in and out of BDO, eventually they're just going to go out of it, because why keep on going back to, you just have this being more consistent, and that would be nice. Arena of Arsha is also the killer of, the Arena of Solar is also the killer of Arsha. So that is also a good thing to think about when it comes to implementing this stuff into the game. Dark Seeker Retreat, Artifact and Atter Shoe. PA was busy with the other content developing the Dark Seeker Retreat monster zone, therefore the zone had bugs, lack of mechanics, low silver per hour, and too difficult for players to grind. Many players are already tried grinding for Dark Seeker Retreat and Flame to craft the outer shoes. Even with the new bus added to the area, players do not like the monster zone. To reduce some of the stress to obtain the Flame, the Kafra event will be extended to November 29th. The monster AP will also be reduced, and embers will be more obtainable through the bus spawn. Okay. You can get 2 artifacts from Dark Seeker Retreat while grinding for the Flame. It's RNG, and some players struggling to obtain it due to bad luck, so the pity pieces will be added. That is good. 100 pity pieces items were needed to craft the artifact, and able to obtain approximately 3 pity pieces per hour. That is good. Players will also be able to sell and buy the pity pieces on. That is not good. Why? Update is planned to arrive on Global Lab and test server next week. Suggestion for pity pieces is now final, depends on player feedback. PA would like to stress that it will not be affected to the chance of Flame and Ember drop. Okay, everything here is good except for this. The reason why this is not good is because people can literally just get that shit without even playing the shit. And naturally, I would believe that you want to make content that is great content that people want to do. And if you want to do the content, you also have to be ready to do the content. So it's a goal, is something that you aim for as a player. It's like, oh, you can't do it right now, so you try to gear up, you try to like become better, stronger, and then eventually once you're ready, you be like, oh, I can go to that new place and grind for this thing that I need, right? And not being the other way around, being like, I just go to I go grind orc, and then I just buy the pity pieces and I make the I make the shoes, right? So me personally, I'm not a fan of this, like you just buy the item kind of a thing, like you straight up just like buy it or whatever. I think this is totally fair. Like people get pity pieces, people can get the raw drop. You don't necessarily need to even have the utter shoe. That's also another reason. Like you don't need to have the utter shoe to do content in BDO. And because of that reason, like you don't need, no one needs it. No one. Because of that reason, I also feel like they've taken away that part of like maybe it could be nice to have something to do in BDO rather than to go back to history and grind for a gazillion hour. You could actually just want to go to another place and try to enjoy the new place, at least, that they put a lot of time and effort into developing. And hopefully the development and all of that time and effort is like great quality, right? So people are going to have a great time doing it. So that is how I think about that. I think it's a missed opportunity for content in the game to just allow people to just straight up buy it. And people are not going to be able to buy it in the beginning, but eventually they are. Isn't the full drop sellable anyway? Yeah, and I always thought that was a bad idea. I always thought that it was a bad idea to always like to have the drops being sellable. But that's my opinion. Some people think differently. I think it's a loss of content if they make the content good enough. Like you want people to do the content, not just like go grind the most money per hour spot in BDO and then just buy everything. I can sometimes be like, okay, but you made all of this like new stuff over here. Maybe we want to go and like experience the new stuff, right? And sometimes you might not be ready for it, but you gear up, right? That's you progress, and you have a goal, right? You have a goal to progress and go on this adventure, and not be stuck at Orc. So I think it's pretty important for MMOs. Anything for more Mythic of Feathers? I missed a lot of the stream. Nothing so far. We're currently at number 6 right here. This is taking a while to go through, but it's pretty interesting. When you essentially give away the last flame for almost free, what did they think people were gonna do? Of course, people are gonna go be upset you attached the new flame to a higher end grind zone. Yeah, I mean, another reason why it's pretty bad is because like they put a lot of time and effort into making these regions and they do the monsters and they develop the mechanics and they want people to go and play in the new region, killing the new monsters. But at the same time, everyone is just out to get the drop, right? Once they have the drop, they go back to Thornwood or whatever. I would also like to see that they would make new regions very, very viable money per hour too. So people not only grind for that one drop and then get the fuck out of there and go back to Orc grind. I would love to see that it would actually be worth with both the special drop and with like being compensated for the time grinding in the new regions and killing the new monsters. So I think that's also pretty important. Have you seen the grind spot? Ballad ground on slope with no sky. Shit was rushed. I haven't seen the new stuff. I try to not do this actually, but it's a thing that I need to become better at. So we're doing it right now. Monster zone and AP caps. Currently, there are 2 types of monster zones. Places where you can make silver grinding trash items and places where you make a silver from rare drops. For example, Star Sand is a place where you can obtain rare drop, and Elvia Orc is a place where you can obtain high trash loot. PA said that you need more requirements to grind these places with rare drops due to needing higher drop rate buffs, while trash loot spot only require aggres. Therefore, they will be making drop rate increase buffs more impactful. That sounds like a good idea. AP caps are there to try to prevent. Oh. AP caps are there to try to prevent high gear players from grinding at the spot designed for new players. New end game grind spots are supposed to added. For a while after, it meant a lot of veteran players felt like it didn't matter if they got stronger. This was EA's mistake and more end game grinding zones. Oh, okay. Oof. Oof. My interpretation on this. Oof. I thought that they meant that that was a good idea, and then that was okay. It's good that they ended by this note. Ye's mistake. Yeah, obviously this is a thing that everyone is doing, me included. If they have AP caps in the game, people can go over cap, and people like me can also play very fast classes. So if you go over cap and you play a fast class, you can get the craziest money per hour. Going back and destroy a few noobs and take over the grind spots, and you run the entire Bloody Monastery alone, right? Or all of these stuff, right? You can do that if you want to. I always thought that that was a bad idea, and is the thing that they write here, like veteran players feel like it didn't matter if they got stronger, because like you reach this is like the progression bar right here. You gear up, right, very fast in the beginning, and then it kind of slows down a little bit, and then it's just like very capping right there. Now this is the cap, and this is like the going over cap, because that's a thing in BDO. So once you reach the cap right there, you want to go over cap. You do that with like special attack, like critical hit damage and back attack damage and special monster AP, and you do that with all of those kind of stuff, right? So this is like the progression of BDO. Like in the beginning, you're flying gear score, and then you reach soft cap is a little bit slower, and then you reach a imaginary number right there, which is like the cap of the grind spot. And the cap of the grind spot is like, okay, now you can't really kill the monster faster unless you go over cap, and usually everyone goes over cap. That is the whole aim in BDO, to grind more efficiently, right? Even in PvP. So you kind of start feeling like you don't need to have more gear than this, and once you don't need to have more gear than this, you have grind spots up here that is like end game grind spots, right? And it's like you might have that gear, right? You might actually have that gear, but then it's like, but you're already making so much money grinding here, and you never die, and you don't need to have a perfect rotation, and you don't need to like put your face in the monitor, and you don't need to buy all of the consumables in the planet, and you don't need to play the broken class, and like you can play a viable class right here. You don't need to play the broken class. You can just play a fast class, and that's gonna be like very, very viable for you. And you can take a shit, you can go drink coffee, you can make a sandwich, you can take a shower. You're gonna get that very, very good money. Although, like, yeah, sure, you can get a little bit more money if you go sweat it up, but like there is no, why would you do that? Like, why? There is no incentive to do that if the differences in money and the differences in how much you have to focus in the game and how much you have to do, if that is a very small difference, like 200 million per hour or 300 million per hour, why do it? Because if you get more gear here, it's not really going to give you anything else, right? It's just going to cap you out at Thornwood or whatever, and you get capped Thornwood money. It's like it doesn't, like, why do you need more gear then? Like, hey Deepa, PA been doing this since they introduced Mountain of Eternal Winter, get the flame and get out. Yeah, and I think it's a pretty sad thing, because I would rather want to spend 1,000 hours in the new region than I would want to spend 1,000 hours killing orc that I used to do 3 years prior. So, but that's me. I like to do new content rather than, Elvia revamp on Star's End. Like, I've done 2,000 hours in Star's End. Why? Oh, they made them glow yellow this time. I would much rather spend time, most of the time, in a new place, in a new region, fighting new monsters. But that's me. That's me. Some people might like LVS stuff. I'm not a big fan of LVS stuff. I know why they do LVS stuff, because it's a little bit faster to develop. So they get the content out there a little bit faster. And that's okay. But they shouldn't take over, in my opinion, shouldn't take over the the fact that you should actually want to go to the new places and be there. But that's my opinion on the why gear up when you need to make 1 billion per hour is 200 AP to run centaurs. Exactly. And even for me, like for the longest time for me, I could be 720 gear score on Avusa. And I can still do Thornwood very good. I can do Thornwood very good at 720 gear score on Avusa. Why am I 750 gear score? There is no reason for that. The only reason for that is because me personally, I wanted to get that. I just wanted to get that. But you know why? There is no reason. Like in the game, like, you know, I need to have that somehow. No reason. It doesn't allow me to do new content. So the class is a very class-based game. Your gear score matters, but only if you play strong classes or broken classes. You won't believe that they are actually going to buff Orc Camp. That's a bad thing, and that kind of contradicts what they are saying right there. if that is true, I haven't read it right here, but kind of contradicts. You know, it's good for the game if I can't go to History and kill a few noobs and grind for endgame money. Is good for the game if that is the case. I know that is not the case right now, but Orc, for example, is like I'm doing it. Why am I doing it? Because I feel like it's a chill grind. It's a chill grind. I get massive money. I don't need to get an extra 500-600 million per hour. I'm already making 1.3. Like why? if I'm just chilling, I'm killing every noob ever that rolls up into the rotation. I'm just chilling. I'm just like, I'm gonna grind 10 hours. I'm gonna grind 10 hours instead of 3 sweaty hours. I make more money. So it's a pretty big the reason why other games doesn't do it that way. They don't allow end game players to go back and replay the content many times. Is because they don't want to interact the mid game or early game players with the end game players. They don't want to devalue your gear by like, oh, you don't need that much anymore because you can just go back and do that thing that you did like 3 years ago. There are many reasons why game companies don't want veteran players to go back in time and, you know. yeah. But this sounds good. This sounds good. Because he says that it's a mistake and more end game grinding zones are planned. So hopefully, the end game grinding zones are a lot more money per hour than Orc, for example. I already think that all of the money in the game is way too much, but you always have to have that difference. End game money should always be way more incentive, because it's also harder to do. More preparation, harder to do. You need more stuff. You need more experience, know-how in the game. All of these stuff. It matters. Kratuga and Thornwood Forest silver per hour will be nerfed. Yeah, probably a bad idea if they don't plan to nerf Orc, for example. Or if they don't plan to nerf Kratuga and History either. Or if they don't plan to nerf Sukraya. Probably a bad idea to nerf only Thornwood. If they mean Dekia. If they mean Dekia Thornwood. I don't know if this is Dekia Thornwood or... Is that the regular Thornwood? PA are sorry for the nerf and will be doing more grind spot balancing. You know what day of the week it is? Saturday. Gear prices have also increased rapidly with the introduction of debuts and Fallen God stuff. Yes. I said that before, but I think that they still have to maintain and keep on maintaining increasing prices on the marketplace with the inflation in the game. And many times they don't do that equally as fast. They are very slow many times. I bought consumables this year alone for more than 50 billion. And it doesn't impact me at all because of the inflation rate. There's been several times when I bought consumables in 2 days. I bought like 15 billion worth of consumables, and I've done that like 4 times throughout the year. And for me, it's like a tiny speck of money, because of inflation. Because of how much money we can grind in the game, it's almost nothing. So right now they are buffing it. We're probably gonna read about that right here or something. But they are buffing, like they're gonna be increasing the price of everything, like elixirs and that kind of stuff. And they probably need to increase it even more. They're gonna increase it like by twice most of the times, like 2 times, but it's still pretty cheap in my opinion. If you buy all of those elixirs, and it's still pretty cheap because nowadays people like me, I'm not even that good at grinding, but people like me making 1.5 billion per hour or 1.6. I could make even more than that if I want to do Debo grind, but I don't want to do Debo grind because it fucks with my head to like be stuck with that, and I don't want to invest. I don't want to ruin my psyche for money that I don't need. So yeah, it's still a little bit like it is nothing. It's nothing. New players don't need to play with elixir rotations, and even mid game players don't need to run elixir rotations. Crystals. More ways to obtain crystals will be added. PA feel like they made crystals unbreakable, then it will cause too many other changes. Instead, they are trying to make rare drop grinding better to introducing more ways to obtain crystal. Crystal inventory will continue to be worked on as well. So they're just going to add more crystals to random drop tables. Isn't that going to like affect the RNG on many special pieces and stuff like that? Because they add yet like another item into the drop table, like that could mess up a bunch of stuff for sure. if it works that way. This is good. Hopefully they give everyone like 15 more crystal inventory. You know what? You know what? Better yet, PA, give everyone unlimited crystal inventory so they can actually play the game. Yeah, how about that? How about that? Yeah. Elixirs. Material required to craft elixir going to improve so they are easier obtained. That is good. PA said that elixir also require better organization, talked about the idea of merging party and normal elixir. That is good. Other idea of including making drought stronger than elixir, or introduce an item you can combine 16 elixir into one. That is a huge... I've been talking about this. That is huge. That they have to do this. It's either like there is way too many things in BDO that is like you have to prepare this, you have to go get that, you have to get 15 different kind of buffs, and then you have to go and get 16 different elixirs, and then you have to go get that event buff on the other side of the planet, and and then you have to swap your gear a little bit. You have to change your add-ons. You have to you forgot about the villa buff, so now you have to go and buy the villa buff again. Like there is so many things that takes away time from actually playing the game. Way more time goes in, not way more time goes into preparation, but too much time goes into preparation. And that takes away from enjoying the game. Like it's never fun to prepare for, like, you know, waiting for a dude to show up or organizing your inventory. It's never fun to do that stuff. And it's okay if it's a little bit, like you have to go get that and you have to fix that, and that's okay if it's a little bit. But at the current state of the game, you have to do probably 35 different things before you start the grind. Go get the church buff, get all of the elixirs, buy the villa invitation, swap the class that you play, all of these stuff, right? Is way too much. So doing something like this is huge. Huge. Now, if they also do something like this, more people are gonna play this. Way more people gonna combine like into one thing, and they're gonna be playing like that. Way more people, even new players, gonna do that. So even this would be very good if that is the case. So this can be good for different things, and that can be good for other things. You know, the different kind of grinds, or PvP or PvE or life skilling. Yeah. So I love this idea. I love this idea. The idea for an infinite elixir would be similar to infinite potions and not easy to obtain. That is also kind of good. It doesn't have to be not easy to obtain, but you know, it can be decently easy to obtain. In Korea, a lot of players don't like treasure grinding, so the idea is to not to set in stone and feedback is needed. What does that have to do with elixirs? PA would also like to improve alchemy and food buff. That is a good thing. And we talked about that yesterday. They have like every life skill is a big part of the game. It's a big like branch. It's like a tree branch, right? They have to keep on improving every single life skill. And not only life skill, it's also like RBF and Siege and Node War and grind spots and party grind spots and dungeons and all of these individual game modes or systems. They have to always keep on improving on that. And if they add more to the game, they have to hire more people to PA. Because that's just how to not kill a thing in the game. It's like, don't add more things to the game. You don't have time to improve or manage the thing that is in the game, right? So people eventually stop doing it. It's not going to be worth it. It's going to be the same thing all the time, so it becomes very boring. There are so many issues if you just like throw in game functions into the game and you don't have time to improve on them. So it is good that they improve alchemy. It's been long due, but at the same time, it's also like they have to do it with all of the things: bartering, cooking, party grind spots. They have to add more party grind spots in the game. I'm not even a true fan of party grind spots, but I know that would be an improvement to the game if they were to do that. Where do you have access to this, please? Oh, this is BDO Foundry. I can. There you go. Apple. Well, hello, yeah, man. So yeah, that's good, but it's a thing that they have to do with everything. So this is not exclusive. It's just like, yeah, good that you do that, but like there is a lot of other things, like Node War, for example. There's a lot of other things that they have to maintain also. They can't just like give us the give us the item or give us the content and then let it be there and then never do anything with it and just keep on going, right? They always have to keep on improving things, and that's just how it works. Other shoes will when will be in? I don't know. I have no idea. They have to translate the game first, because that takes such a long time, and they've done the planning very badly. So they do that after the content is being released. Usually, you would translate when the story is already complete, and once the story is complete, it's very early in the development phase. You have time to do translation and voice acting and all of that stuff before the content is even released. You have time if you plan it good, and usually companies, they love to plan it good, because otherwise they lose money because it's being delayed. Now PA, they want to translate the thing after the entire project is done. Like they done the story, they made the item, they made the monsters, they made the zone, they finish up a little bit, and then they release it, right? And then they want to translate. Now that's on PA. And why they do that, I don't know. Favoritism, maybe, yeah. It kind of makes sense, because like otherwise you would do the translation after the story is done, and that would probably be way before the entire content is even released and ready to release, right? So I used to work with creative projects like this, and that was how we did it, because we didn't want to lose money. We had to like fit it all into our project plan. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can think of is favoritism, and if they were to write that or say that, I'd be like, okay. Okay. Damage numbers. PA stated that they will never add damage numbers to the live servers, and will remain on global lab testing server only. This is a thing that they said like 5 years ago. So I don't know why they said that again. Maybe they have to update new players with the same information. They feel that you don't need damage numbers because you can feel your damage without needing to see numbers. If they add the damage numbers, the players such as your guild master may complain that you don't. This is the exact same thing that they said 3 years ago. Like they copy pasted this. They copy pasted all of this. And I have the same response as I did back then. Number one, your guild master or your guild mates, they're gonna see anyway if you don't have damage enough to be good enough. And they're gonna ban your ass either way. Why and how? People do trials. You're gonna have to do a trial. If you want to join a PvP guild, you have to do a trial. And if you can kill people in the trial, that means that you have enough damage to do good stuff, right? If you don't have enough, like you don't kill that dude, or like you keep on making mistakes and stuff like that, or they're not gonna let you in the goddamn guild. They're gonna ban you from the guild even if you keep on making, like, you don't get kill feeds in the node war. Like they're gonna ban you. So this is a complete lie. And yeah, you do feel your damage sometimes. So that is true. But yeah. So the reason why they don't want you to see numbers in the live server is because it's easier for people to find out everything that is wrong with the game. This is the reason why they don't want to show numbers. Because if more people get access to numbers, more people can figure out what is broken with the game. Like, oh, that doesn't work as good, or that works as good, or that doesn't work, and like, what am I missing damage here? And that means that they're gonna get way more feedback, or messages or cry outs about PA needs to do something about an issue. That, like, more people gonna complain about the game being broken because they can see that like more directly. So that means that PA be forced to do more work. So that is the reason why that they don't give it on live servers. There is no other reason. Because this thing here, that the guild master is gonna complain about that you don't do enough damage. We are everyone. Not only the guild master, everyone. We see if you don't do enough damage. We see if you keep on dying all the time. We see if you can't do forward guard, like playing protected. We see how people play. If you get the kill or not, like we can see that without numbers. Which is like, why do people do trials? That is the one reason. So that's a complete lie. The thing I said about people, like they just get more feedback about the things that doesn't work in BDO, and they have more work to like fix stuff. If people can't see it directly, what is wrong, it takes a longer time for people to find out the things that don't work. You need like more people, like Big and Shiny, for example. They're gonna have to put in like 3 weeks instead of like an hour, or sometimes like 3 weeks instead of 2 seconds, because they can just see like the damage output. They don't need to run these like 10-hour tests, Pretty sure in case translation is code for we rushed out the content and messed it up, need more time to fix it. I don't know. Yeah, that could be the case. I think that is favoritism. I think that they do that on purpose. That they start translating the thing after everything is done. I think that they do that on purpose because KR needs to get the content before everyone else get something. And it's not the first Korean MMO that I played. I played Silk Road. I played Ion Online. I played what was the other game? Lineage. I played these games, even Lost Ark, and all of these games have one thing in common. 2 things in common. They are KR games, and they are very heavy on the favoritism. Very, very, very heavy. Super heavy. Cronstone prices and costumes. In August, the prices of costumes and cronstones were increased. The price increase would happen 2019-2021 after previous price change. Added the update to try and improve grind spots per hour and match the price increase. For example, like a has 2019, the average hour was 100 million per hour. Now in 2023, 650 million per hour. This is also true for many of the other grind spots. Silver per hour has increased over the years. Therefore, if silver per hour is increasing, the costume and cronstone prices also need to increase to reflect that. Although it was talked about the price increase was delayed many times. Why is now such a big change? In the future, they will try to voice these changes before implementing them. I get this. I understand this. The reason why they have costumes in the game that you can melt down for cronstones and you can sell them on a marketplace, it is for the whales and it is for the company to make big stonks. That is the pure reason why they have that in the game. And they also, because of that reason, they also have to readjust the value in different times forward. So because of inflation, like 100 million turns into 650 million, it probably needs to be like 5 times more, for selling a costume. They don't even have that. They have it a little bit on the lower scale, which is a good thing for players, a bad thing for the whales. But they still have it a little bit lower than what it is right now. if you think about the pure value of it, and that's good for players, not good for the whales. I think I think it's fine. I don't really care that much about it. If anything, I play on EU, and I wish that there were more whales on EU so I could just buy more costumes. That's my opinion. Instead of buying the vendor crowns. Lots of people also asked about the appearance toggle for Berserker Beast. Beast mode, this is possible due to the current technical limitations. To solve this, they would like to have two versions of the skill. One with the beast appearance and one without the beast appearance. Players who also asked for more modern costumes and better costumes for their class, that is true. Jay feels that BDO has unique costumes that fit into the world. He said that even developers wish to transform into tigers and bears. But if a new player arrived in Velia and saw a bear and tiger costume, he would feel that it wouldn't fit into the world of BDO. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's just what. Yeah, let's continue. Costumes like the Coco outfit and Salinar outfit were to try to introduce different costumes to the player that wanted without breaking the immersion of the game. PA also wanted that, although a lot of players ask for longer capes on their classes, it is something that is not easy to fix. And would require a big change, like the wizard body rework. Oh yeah, yeah. It's so hard. It's so hard to fix that. To just add a little bit of cloth to cover some skin. It's one of the harder fixes. They have to. Yeah, they need like a real Elon Musk on that to fix that issue. Yeah. So some players like they're just asking for a little bit of a longer cape to like hide the thigh a little bit, or maybe a little bit of like an apron on the side of the booba to like hide a little bit of the side booba. Like they're just asking for, but it's such a hard task. Like it is something that is not easy to fix and would require a big change. Oh my god, that made me cry a little bit. Such a dumb answer that it didn't even warrant a response. I feel like this, like like new players venturing into Velia and they see like a bear or a tiger or whatever. Every other MMO have that feature, and the reason why BDO, I mean, the reason why PA don't want to have that in the game is because they don't want to have that in the game, and that's okay, that's whatever. Berserker, no one cares about Berserker, so this doesn't like they could have just like left that out. No one really cares about that. Um, but this one is hilarious. Like people, the thing is like the PA have so many costumes. 90% of them is just a little apron with side booba and big thighs and sex dungeon outfits and cooking maid outfits and get them bikinis and thongs and like shit like that. It's 90% of it. 90% of it. And yeah, that's what he says first here. Is like that there is a lot of what it is. Yeah, there's a unique costumes. There's BDO has unique costumes that fits into the world. Yeah, sure. 90% of it is slutty costumes. That's not uniqueness when it comes to So number one, no, not true. Number two, like what is this? Is not easy to fix. Hiding the sluttiness of the costumes, like actually making like a real costume, like it is hard to do that. No, It's not hard to do that. But you don't make as much money from horny gamers if you do that. So that is why you don't do that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Next. Field buses and Garmoth Heart. The HP on the field bus will be merged for all servers like World Buses, Garmoth, Vel, etc. I thought that was already a thing. Oh, field buses. Oh, yeah. World buses is a thing. Field buses, okay. The reward for field buses will also improve. That is good. Garmoth Heart is an important item, improving your damage, but very difficult to obtain. PA are currently discussing ways to make Garmoth Heart more obtainable. One suggestion was to increase the max price of the heart on the central marketplace, and another suggestion was to add pity pieces for Garmoth Heart. PA would like to hear players' feedback regarding these two suggestions. The quest line to obtain the Garmoth Heart will also be improved. Okay, so yeah, they are right about this. They are only 3 years late about this, but Garmoth Heart is a pretty important thing. Not because of the effect of it, but because of the sense of progression. A lot of people feel like they're missing out. It doesn't really matter too greatly that they are missing out on like the stats of it, but you know, the sense of like, oh, you have two things here that you can unlock, but you never did because of bad RNG. Some people like me, for example, we tried to kill this goddamn dragon for 3-4 years, and we never got shit. No heart, 0 heart. And the only way to obtain it is by pre-ordering both of them and have pre-orders on them for like 3 to 6 months. And that is how you can obtain maybe RNG. You could get 1 heart. So obviously a very bad solution. What you want to do is you want to allow people to not only RNG based get a Garmoth Heart, but you want people to be able to work on something. Like if they keep on doing something, that they could progress into eventually getting one. That is not really based on RNG, but based on maybe you kill 100 dragons, you get one for free, you know. And maybe the free one, you can't even sell it. You know? So like if you kill 100 dragons and you get the free one, you might not even be able to sell that one. So it's only for use, you know? So that is a solution. There can be a lot of solutions to this. I don't think increasing the max price of it on the central market is going to do anything. That's not gonna really do, like, it's not a good solution, at least not in my opinion. Pity pieces is one way to do it. I could also feel like, you know, killing the dragon 50 times and you get a free one that you can't sell on the market, but you can use it. That would also be a pretty good solution. A lot of people like me, for example, we eventually would sell our Garmoth Heart because we would do that, right? And we get the free one and we use the free one, but then we sell the one that we can sell. And obviously you would have to like make that into a thing that people can't do. How do you do that? I don't know. People that already have 2 Vel Heart, maybe they can't do this quest or whatever. So yeah, there are definitely many ways to fix this. And the more surprising thing is that they haven't fixed it already. It's been a problem for a long time, years. And not because of like, oh, you get like 1% more attack speed, or no, because like the sense of progression. You have that thing that you can unlock, but you can never get that item because it's RNG, you know? So it's just a thing that feels very bad, and a lot of people want to get that, and they never get that. They have to like wait half a year for a pre-order that could maybe happen. you're halfway on the quest. You're gonna wait and see if they make it easier, and that's also good. I think it's good that they improved the quest too. Yeah. I'm really surprised they haven't made it so you add Garmoth Heart to main hand. It used on every weapon, on every other weapon. Yeah, maybe they will. Anything that is pity or free should never be sellable. Um, yeah, I share the same opinion. Yeah, I share the exact same opinion. If you kill 50 dragons and you get one for free, it should be unsellable. But the thing is, like, if people like me do that, we're gonna sell our already sellable hearts, right? So it would kind of be the same thing, but they would have to make it so people like that already have the Garmoth heart can't sell the ones that we already have. Uh, they've done this in various forms when they gave out like a pen capocia necklace that was equivalent to a Tet Ogre, for example. And people just got the pen capocia and then they sold their Tet Ogre, crashing the prices of Tet Ogre and devaluing the Ogre, right? So they have done stuff like that in the past. Hopefully they learn from not doing that and things will be Gucci. Life skill. PA will continue to fix and improve life skills. That is good. They are aware that sniper hunting is strong at the moment. Yeah, okay. Although Liana Toolbag was implemented, they would like to gathering easier, adding ways you can gather without tools. Okay. I hope that they write this or state this in a good way, because it's actually very good. The sniper hunting or hunting at all, it is pretty strong. Like you get fair amount of money doing it. It's not even that much if you compare to Debo grind or Thornwood grind. It's not even on par. But the good thing would be to have life skilling being on par with PVE. That would be a good thing. So that's a good thing. That the sniper hunting is strong at the moment. Maybe it even needs a little bit of buffing. I'm just saying, people can grind 2 billion an hour nowadays. If you're at the end of things, then maybe they need to buff that. If you can do the end game sniper hunting, you know. Other content, Dark Rift. Dark Rift will be reduced from 12 to 6. Spawn in Valencia and Medaya Dark Rift will be removed. Yes. Yes. Fuck that Valencia Dark Rift. The respawn time will be the same, and there will be more reward because they take away half of the bosses. Tier 10 horses will also randomly drop mythical feathers when running around. There's a rumor that feathers have been showing up in Dark Rift. What? Tier 10 horses will also drop mythical feathers when running around. As an effect or something? Like on the screen, like an effect? Like, well, what is this? What? Feathers are showing up in Dark Rift? You can obtain them, I'm presuming. But what is this tier 10 horses would drop? Did you already make commentaries about Succession Land buff? I might have missed that. We're currently going through the new global stuff here. I can respond to that later. I don't know what that means. Can drop them? Yeah, but what they drop on the ground? You go back and get one, or like you randomly just drop, like you just poo poo feathers on the ground that you have to pick up, or like what is that? It's like the horse is like shitting feathers on the road, and you be like, oh, there's a feather. You go get that. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Mythical horse, horse racing and jar. Horse racing and jar game will be matchmaking systems like Arena of Solar. So like ranking, okay. The update is not high priority, has been delayed in the past, okay. You will also be able to get mythical feathers from horse racing, okay. Royal Fern route will be balanced again. That means that they're gonna increase it most likely, which they kinda should, because they're already giving away tier 10 horse attempts as event reward. So they should increase not only feather, mythical feather possibilities for people to get mythical feathers. They should probably like 10 times that, and they should probably at least 2 times the fern on a weekly basis. Because they are already giving away since early summer free tier 10 horse event reward. So yeah, they should do that and even more. Daily boss scroll. At the start, players really enjoy the daily boss scroll. However, now players don't pick up the scrolls every day because they forget or don't want to. The boss scroll will be changed to challenge reward, so it's easier to obtain. A big part of it is because it's not worth it. Like a huge part of it is because it's not worth it. Because people can grind that like well above 1 billion per hour nowadays. So that's why most people don't want to bother with doing bad stuff. So a very very big part of this is because it's not good enough. And then a second part of it is that most people don't have fun doing that. Most people don't like standing there and like summoning a scroll, waiting, one-shotting the monster, summoning a scroll. No. Go into Black Spirit, take the reward, summoning the scroll, waiting, one-shot the monster, talk to the Black Spirit, get the reward, summoning the scroll, waiting. A lot of people don't like doing that stuff. It's too tedious. The waiting part, the one shot of the monster, the rewards alone. Talk to the Black Spirit to get the reward. Like all of that stuff, too tedious, in my opinion. So the only reason why I did it in the past was because it was crazy money per hour. So I could deal with the tediousness, but I would get that money, right? We love doing Narc scroll. Yeah, I done that a few times. It was not fun. But I also did that for the reward. Lachiaro is not popular anymore. Anymore. I like how they added anymore. The rewards are going to be improved to encourage more players to gather Lachiaro. Okay, that's good. I like that. I don't think it was ever popular, but a few people did it back in the days. A few people did it. and again, because it was kinda maybe tiny bit worth it back in those days, but then it stopped being worth it, right? People don't do things that is not worth it. People would go kill grass beetles if they would have had fun killing grass beetles, right? But it's not worth it. It's not worth it to kill grass beetles. Go punch them in their face. Like it's not fun, you know. If it was fun, people would do it, but it's not fun. So like, where's the money? There's no money here. There's no incentive. It's no fun. People are not gonna do it. Currently, relics and forbidden books are 1.2 billion per hour. Yeah, but is it really 1.4 billion per hour? I didn't know that. But you have to take into account that you have to make all of those scrolls, you have to set it up, you have to do the tedious thing, and then you have to sell the things and do pay taxes on the thing. So you have to take in all of that account, and it's probably less money than what you're writing right there. But at the same time, you can also do debo grind that is 2 billion per hour. So you know, if that's the case, that with all of the preparation involved and all of that is added into the money that you write right there, like 1.4 billion per hour. I think that a lot of people don't know about that, and if they were to know about that, a lot of more people would start doing that. With the current memory frag prices, saying that it's good actually is very bad. I mean, it sounds pretty good if it's 1.4 billion per hour. You take away a little bit of time for preparation, and it could be like 1.1 billion per hour doing nothing, drinking coffee, um, you know, scratching your head. That's a lot of money for doing nothing. You can literally just lay here and like watch a TV show. You can do that an entire day. Yeah, I mean, I do think it's bad for the game if they have very very high money earning things for very very easy things you have to do. I think it's just natural that if you put effort into something and you prepare for something, you put effort in, you focus, and you actually play the game, that you should get greatly more rewarded than just standing AFK at Thornwood, smashing out random skills on Thornwood monsters on the same spot. So like I do think that the incentive of doing something and you focus and you put in hard work, and you should also reap a greater reward, a very very big reward in comparison to like sleeping. Um, but that's me. That's how I think that not only real life should be like that, but also games. Ultra Blood Savage Rift are still being reworked when they already were shown on global labs. Wait, what? Savage Rift? Are they gonna bring back Savage Rift? Okay, I'm interested. I'm interested. PA currently questioning whether to remove. No. Okay, they can remove Savage Rift. It wasn't that good, but Ultra Blood was actually very interesting, and all they needed to do was to keep on improving it, keep on adding things to it, keep on fiddling around a little bit with like maybe rankings and different time completions and reward based on different times and have like keep on adding stuff to it. Like you just don't release the thing, here you go, and then not do anything with it for like 50 years. Like of course people are gonna stop playing it because it sucks now. It sucks. It's so outdated. No one plays that shit. And they have to like if they add game modes like this in the game, they have to keep on updating it. They have to like keep on adding or removing stuff from it, making it more interesting with time. Uh, Always. Otherwise, it falls off and people don't want to play it. It's the same thing with Node War. So, I Altar Blood, I think, is a great idea. I think it's a very interesting, cool thing that PA added to the game. But sadly, they stopped working on it and it fell into the abyss. So hopefully they can I don't care much about the Savage Rift. The Savage Rift was kind of lame, but doing 500, 600 memory frags per 50 minutes is so stupid. That's a lot of memory frags. Adventure logs. A lot of feedback about adventure logs is that they are too hard and players rely on guides to complete them. That is true. They will make the adventure log simplified and easier to complete. That is very good. A lot of the things in BDO is actually like this. Even when it comes to Lantern Ash Forest. and on a smaller scale. If you're like new to the game and everything, and like, oh, you wanna just like pop a I mean, new to the game, but like you're new to the lantern stuff. You got the lantern, you picked up the lantern, you have a little bit of gear score, you wanna try out Ash Lantern, right? You have no idea where it's at. You're just like, well, where the fuck is it? You have to go into like you have to go into BDO Foundry and look at a map and be like, oh, over there is like a summoning location. It's the same thing at Ollens. Like where is the summoning stones? Like what you should do in the game, you just click on the item, click on the lantern, and if you can't activate it at your current location, show on the map where you can. So even if you're not at the location, it doesn't get activated. But then if you click on it and you can't, like you're not at the current location, just show on the goddamn map where it is. So you like immediately know exactly where it is. Right? And they should have stuff like that in the game for everything. Very easeable access of knowledge. If like for the player in the game, you shouldn't be like, how do you do something? You have to go in and search on BDO Codex, like, oh, you combine that with that and fix that with that, and you go over there and you check on maps, and it should never be that. That's bad development. You need to have a good development in the game, in the moment, being able to figure out as a player exactly what to do. In a fair amount of like, you know. Psychosis, thank you for the follow. Rip Ollens. I kind of like Ollens. How they implemented the Dekia lantern to the summoning thing. I like the change. Us looking for Ollens that confused me so much. I was actually looking at the map. Yeah, exactly, and that's just bad development because we're not new players, but it's like, where do we go? If we didn't go in and checked on a map on BDO Foundry or something, that's what we did, right? We were running around, like me, Daikon, and your friend, right? We were running around trying to look for this like summoning stone, and like, where the fuck is it? It doesn't show anywhere. Like going up to different things, like, oh, is that the thing that we summon? And then like we randomly try to summon, and oh, that was not the thing. And now you wasted like a bunch of fuel on the lantern, and like now you have a 1 minute cooldown. That was a good idea that they changed that from 5 minutes to a minute. They should kind of change that to like 20 seconds, but you know. when I was popping lanterns at Thornwood, when I didn't know like where exactly to pop the lantern, I popped it at the wrong place, and now I needed to, like back in those days, I needed to wait 5 minutes. I needed to wait 5 minutes because I accidentally were trying to find where I was gonna grind, because I didn't want to go and open up a bunch of books and university BDO study about the whole thing. I didn't want to study about the whole thing. I just wanted to play the game. I'm in the game. I want to play the game. I don't want to like look for like Google how to do things in the moment, like such basic things as like just go and grind, right? Understandable if you're trying to look up like some high information on how to do things. Yeah, sure, but like the easier things that you're doing in BDO, like how to make a rock, how to obtain a rock in BDO, like, yeah, you get a pickaxe, I presume, and you go find a rock in the game and you smash on the rock and you get a rock, right? It shouldn't be too hard to realize like what you have to do, right? No, but you actually need to like infuse the special item on the pickaxe, and then you have to learn the special skill to actually pickaxe, and then you have to like go to a special stone. Not all of the stones can drop stones, and you have to go to a special place, and then you need to pickaxe, and then there's RNG if you get a stone or not. And no, you just make it easier in the game to understand what we need to do for the basic stuff, like. So hopefully they try to improve on things like that. Even me, I played the game for 5 years. I can be very confused sometimes because I don't like to study BDO and read up about the things I need to do before I go into the game. I want to go in the game and play the game. And because of that reason, I can get very confused sometimes because it's like, well, what do I need to do? Trying to find Marnie Realm in History or Ackman, find because you can't use an autopath in the desert. Yeah, and then you have special portal locations in the desert, right? So you usually want to run a specific way. So you have like more portal spawns in the desert. I love Ollens, even the normal one. They are so chill. The fact that they removed column number 13 ruined the rotation completely. They showed they have no idea how people play their game. I think they play differently at KR. I don't know, but I think they play different. Everyone Googles for it anyway and knows it why it's not marked on the map. I mean, it's either lazy development or bad development, but everything in the product should always be easy manageable. If you always have to read about the manual, you buy anything in real life, or you have to read the entire manual before you can like how to start your phone. Like you go buy a new phone and you can't figure it out. Like how the fuck do you start this thing? So you have to like read a manual. On the 5th page is like, you have to like press down 15 buttons at the same time. You'd be like, how the fuck do I know that? Like, you know, that is bad development, you know? You should easy to understand what you need to do. You should just take a look. Like, I've been playing MMOs for 20 years of my life. I don't know many things in BDO. It's like, what the fuck do I need to do? Like, they just need to make it easy to understand. It's not rocket science. You press on the lantern, you be like, oh, you can't use that right here because you can't use the lantern right here message, right? And then like, poof, on the map, 4 locations. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to do these stuff. Like, it's very easy to do this stuff, and yeah, it's just like maybe they forgot, maybe they forget. I don't know, but it's pretty easy stuff to do. Hopefully they will fix this stuff. Direct normal Ollens. I don't know. A lot of feedback. Oh yeah, so that's good, right? Red Battlefield. The EXP and reward for Red Battlefield will be improved so that more players will be encouraged to participate in the Red Battlefield. That is good if they ban the AFK people. Blackstones. I mean, actually ban them. Like, throw them out of the game. If they want to join up to stuff just to like AFK and ruin the gameplay, then like ban them. Ban them for half of a day. If they do it again for a day. If they do it again for 3 days. If they do it again for a week. If they keep on, just perma-ban them. Because like having game modes and you rely on people being like, you know, average numbers and everything to have like a good fight and a good experience. Having like a bunch of slackers and a bunch of like AFKers because they want to get the XP for free, or ban them from the game because they're ruining it for everyone. That's why. Blackstones. PA received feedback that there are too many different versions of the Blackstone, Timefield Blackstone, blah, 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 Blackstones. This is difficult to fix because of the technical limitation. PA are considering merging Blackstone armor and Blackstone weapons together. Why is that a problem? Why is this a problem? I don't really care about, like, if they're merging them, I don't really care about it. But why is that even a problem? If anything, there is a problem because they keep on dropping, like, you have like 50 billion of them. So that is an over exaggerate, like, that's an over what do you call it? There is way too many of them in the game. Like they drop everywhere, and it's like a goddamn Zerg. It's like the Zergs in they're just all over the place. Like, you get so many of them, highly devalued. So that's an issue. But this, I don't care. Imagine a new player with limited playing time trying to go to Akma Marni realm, spending 20 minutes trying to find the right portal and trying to, yeah, exactly, yeah. I did that one time. I was a new player one time, and I like the adventure of not knowing anything, which is why, like, the first 9 months of me playing BDO was it was I didn't check on anything, I didn't look anything up, I didn't check on any videos. For me, the adventure was very interesting and definitely very confusing, but I personally like that at that point as a new player, and I also had time for it. It's probably a little bit different if you don't have time and everything is like confusing and weird, and well, what do you do? Like, you don't know what to do. And but yeah, for me, it was a good experience. For other people, maybe it can be a bad experience because they don't have that much time to play BDO. Ocean content. Okay. PA are developing a sailing minigame. Interesting. Sailing daily quest will be made easier to complete, so players can complete them solo. Yay! That's exactly what I need. More ocean content updates are planning for the future. I don't like when they write this because that kind of means that they don't have anything else. Yeah, we're gonna add more in the future. Yeah, for sure, in the future. Yeah, I love ocean stuff. I wish that PA focused a little bit more on ocean stuff. I think that would also be greatly good for the game. Yeah, this is good. This is good. This is something that they just say. They don't have anything like. This is the only things. Weekly quest. Weekly quest reset will be changed on Wednesday. Oh, nice. That is actually good. Wednesday after patch, I hope. That's very good. That's very nice. Black Shrine bosses were to reset on Sunday because a lot of players are more active on weekends, are more able to do 2 bosses. Wait, 2 week of Black Shrine over 1 weekend? Oh. Wait, what? Oh, they mean that they can hammer it out like on the same weekend. So they get the bundles one weekend and they hammer it out both of the content they hammer out in the duration of Saturday and Sunday. And then they don't need to do the bosses on the next week. And then they redo both of the things on 1 week. I don't know. You know what I know? It's a complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. That's what I know. You know what PA need to do? They need to make it so everyone can do unlimited amount of bosses whenever you need to do it, whenever you want to do it. You should be able to do it all the time and get rewarded for it every time you do it. Yep. Every single time you do it, you have a X amount. This is so basic. It's so basic. Unlimited amount of times you can do it. And you always get X amount of cash. Always, depending on the C level. Like a C8 is more X money than like a C5, for example. But then you have also Y, which is Gamba. So there is a chance for you to get a bundle, right? That's a bundle, and you have like X amount of RNG, more reward, and that equals into cash money, right? But just let people do it whenever they want to do it. Like, let people do however many times they want to do that shit, and like let them get base reward every single time they do it, and with the chance of RNG Gamba stuff. Why not? Like copy pasting Lost Ark is not a good idea, PA. It's not a good. People hate Lost Ark. This sucks that you can only do five per week. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, that's my opinion. My guess is maybe 50 to 60% of this stuff will actually be implemented. That is true. They're gonna scrap a lot of the things that they say here. Probably, 40% probably they're gonna scrap. Maybe even 30%. That's just how they have done that in the past. And the rest of it, they could change a little bit or just like implement it as they write it, right? So yeah, there's a lot of things here that they're not even gonna add in the game because, yeah. They did bosses on Saturday, got reward on Sunday, could do them again. Yeah, exactly. But then you can't do them like on the same week, right? So you can only do it on one time the next week, or wait another week and do it 2 times on the second week, right? Do 5 before reset and do the next week after reset on the same day. Yeah. Replayable content is always that is always rewarding. Yeah. The thing, I don't see any reason. I only see positives with if people want to do bosses and they want to get rewarded for that, they should be able to play that and get rewarded for it. I don't say that it should be broken money per hour. I don't say, I just say that it should be worth it to do it, like an incentive to enjoy the boss fight. You get rewarded for the hard fight, right? And the harder the fight, the more rewarded you should get. So, base money, boom. And then with an X amount of Gamba, RNG, whatever, boom, If people want to do that, they should be rewarded for doing that too. However many times they want to do that, just like grinding, just like life skilling, just like PvP. If you want to do PvP, I mean, I guess it's a little bit hard to find PvP nowadays, but anything that you want to do in the game, I guess you don't get rewarded for PvP either, but nor should you. But that's a thing because of the bad servers. If you want to do something, you should get rewarded for it. If it's like boss fighting, dungeons, PvE grind, duo grind, party grind, 5-man grind, you should get incentives to do it and do it. You should be able to do it however many times you want to do it, right? There is no reason to cap it ever. No reason. I need it for alchemy. Give me. Yeah, it's gonna be out soon. Many of the leftover quest items from main story quests will be removed. That is good. These are souvenirs, a small reward for players in many cases that are not worth keeping. Okay, good. Take them away. Many events items will also be reorganized. And also take away a few event items if we don't need them. Just take them away. I have event items from 2018. Like, throughout the years here. I have all kinds of stupid items like snowballs and sticks and stuff. You make a snow guy and you turn in the snow guy, you get to, like, one Kaffir stone, or there are many items that they have to take away from the game. I also think it's very good if they were to add a quest storage or like a quest inventory, even if it's gonna cost them money, because people usually buy inventory space when they fill it up with stupid shit. They usually want to buy inventory space because, but I think it's a very, very good thing for the game. And maybe not all the time you need to cash out on the player base. Maybe sometimes you want to improve the game a little bit too, right? And having a quest storage or a quest inventory is a thing that almost every other MMO has, and it should also have, like, they should have one in BDO too. It's a bunch of random items in your inventory. Half of them are quest items that you don't need, like. Yeah. To start making frenzies because nobody is selling them. Yeah, there's some big money. Hey, Power Pot, how you doing, buddy? Abyss 1, Magnus, Black Shrine bosses. PR considering changing the Magnus so players do not have to go through many loading screens. They acknowledge that traveling to the land of the Morning Light and Black Shrine is annoying. Oh my god. They are also aware of the red AoE warning zones in Black Shrines. Bosses are always at the right times with what the players see on the screen. Okay. It's not an easy fix to do in a short amount. I hope that they want to implement this into all kind of loading screens in BDO. So not only Magnus, but swapping characters, changing server, all of that, all of them loading screens. If they can take away 80% of it, that would be nice. That the game would feel so nice to play without loading. Like if you're gonna take you can run faster with a C5 horse, tier 5 horse, with a tier 5 horse from Heidel to Calphion than what you can taking the goddamn teleport from Heidel to Calphion. And the only reason is because of the goddamn loading screens. Like seriously, like you can run faster with a tier 5 horse. And that's only part of the issue. The most of the issue is that it's very, very annoying. Super annoying with loading screens. I've been talking about that for a long time, and hopefully they get rid of it, or like entirely. That would be good. But 80% of it they should be able to get rid of. I have a good PC, like it shouldn't take me 2 minutes to be stuck in a goddamn loading screen if I want to get to Heidel to Calphion. Animation falling down into a new animation, falling animation with a tamer and a pet on the background, like for 15 seconds, and then a secondary image about the Pearl shop being 30% off for another 15 seconds. Like I already spent like 90 seconds now watching on falling animations and loading screens for the Pearl shop. Like give me a break. Give me a break. What the fuck? Instrument. PA noticed that more people using instrument. Ability to play instruments together with other players will be improved. Music rank will also be improved. Okay. That's okay. Land of the Morning Light. The potion that can be bought in the Morning Light will be removed. They originally made the potion due to inflation, so the players will spend more silver for PvP. However, it was added an extra stress to players. This is so classic PA. It's so classic PA. I thought that the potion was like, okay, that's good. I thought that the fact that you can only buy it in the land of the morning light was ridiculous. I always knew that that was a thing. Like they have done more stuff like that. They want PvP players to spend money because of inflation to drag it down. They have done more. Like they have done that many times. Yeah, yeah. Extra stress because of you just have to do more shit. You killed a C5 porky pig. Okay, okay, nice, nice. To get into a boss fight, you already go into an instanced area. You can join RBF from anywhere by clicking a button. Just merge the two things. You're waiting in the fall animation while the RNG decides whether or not to crash. Yeah, you also random crashes. That is true, and that goes into the next topic: crashing issues. There have been a lot of reported crashes recently in the last 2 weeks. Is that on KR? I've been I play on EU, but I crash. I think every day. I think yeah, every other day I crash. Every other day I crash. And usually if you play RBF, usually if you take the teleport Magnus, and usually when you're swapping characters. So maybe I'm just guessing here. Maybe PA, if you're listening, you have a rendering coding issue. That's just a guess. I'm not a developer, but I'm just guessing. Or sometimes if I'm too fast on my horse running into a city, I'm also crashing. So I'm just guessing here. I'm just guessing. Maybe you have a rendering coding issue. So that can be good to look up how to fix that. This crash is completely different from the crashes before. Isn't logging crash error? Oh no. Oh no, it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. It's World of Warcraft. No, it's Lost Ark. It's Lost Ark hacking into PA. Wait, it's not logging the crash error. Why is it not logging it? They're using all test computers on PA Office to test all of the crashes, and currently 50% of developers working on fixing the crashes. 50%? Half of them are working on this issue? God damn. Okay. PA found a potential issue that was causing the crashes, implemented it to cause more issues, so the fix was a rollback. They are sorry that that is not a fast fix and working on resolving the issue. Oh. Half of the free people. I find that a little bit interesting, and if that is true, I find it to be a little bit ridiculous because maybe you have other things that you have to do, PA, than to resolve crashing issues that you coded. But okay. RMT account trading. PA are aware that some players share accounts and take part of RMT real money trading. This is against the term of service. Even with the OTP one-time password activated, accounts are being shared. PA think they found a way to securely detect this and forcing punishment to those caught breaking the TOS. I wonder why they mentioned this. Maybe it's been an uptick in accounts being sold, or people using, they sharing accounts, or maybe there's been a huge uptick in this. But this has always been a thing. To be honest, I know a lot of people and rumors and people and people of people and people. They've been buying accounts since the beginning of time. Now I also know that a lot of people they got banned. I know that a lot of people got banned for buying accounts. I also know that the same people that got banned buying new accounts, they also bought a new account. So how do you fix this? I don't know. I don't work for PA. I have no idea. I don't know how you fix that, but it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, the most important thing here we done finally with all of this. It took forever, but the most important thing here, the thing that we always need to remember. Let's try to find it because it's definitely worth a shout out. It is right here. I'm gonna reread it again because it's the most important text in all of this. EA feels that BDO has unique costumes that fit into the world. He said that even developers wish that they could transform into tigers or bears. Blah blah blah. So Vilja players and blah 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 blah. Costumes like the Coco outfit and Salanara outfit were made to try introduce different costumes to players who wanted without breaking the immersion of the game. And to end it with this amazing line right here. PA also explained that although a lot of players ask for longer capes on their classes, it is something that is not easy to fix. Dude, I can't. It's not easy to fix and would require big change. It would require big change, like the Wizard Buddy rework, which took a year to complete. The reason why I find this so funny is because the reason why they're asking for longer capes is because they want to hide the buddy on the characters that they play. They want to have a real costume that doesn't show off side booba. It doesn't have sideways thigh angle. You know, looking up, down, below pantsu angle. People want to have real costumes in the game. They don't want to have a sexy dungeon outfit. You know, and it's so funny that they respond with like it's not easy to fix that. You just add like a little bit of like if you're missing a piece right here, you just add a little bit of fabric right there, right? You put a metal plate over on the thigh, like you know, it not easy to wizard buddy. It's not about a wizard. It's not about a wizard. It's about a witch. Yeah, it's not about the male classes. It's about the female classes.